Welcome back to the days where we dive into the latest twists and turns in Salem's ever-evolving world. Today, we're excited to explore the thrilling cast updates, with beloved characters making comebacks and fresh faces stepping into the spotlight. In the bustling town of Salem, where drama never takes a vacation, fans of Days of Our Lives are in for a treat as the show welcomes back some familiar faces while introducing intriguing new ones. This wave of casting news promises to shake up storylines, bringing back the charm of longtime favorites and injecting new energy with debut performances. As Peacock continues to stream the iconic soap, these changes highlight the show's commitment to blending nostalgia with innovative plots, ensuring viewers stay hooked week after week. Whether it's reunions that tug at heartstrings or newcomers who add layers of mystery, the upcoming episodes are set to deliver the emotional roller coaster we've come to love. Kicking off the excitement in the week of July 28, 2025, viewers will meet Miles Anderson in his debut role as Foster, the charismatic owner of a quaint local bookstore that's recently been put on the market amid Salem's shifting economic tides. Foster's character brings a touch of intellectual flair to the town, with his passion for rare books and hidden histories that could unravel some family secrets. He'll share the screen with the ever-graceful Susan Seaforth Hayes as Julie Williams, creating scenes filled with witty banter and unexpected alliances. Their interactions on Monday, July 28th, might just spark a new subplot involving the bookstore's fate, perhaps drawing in other residents who see it as more than just a shop, maybe a hub for clandestine meetings or forgotten romances. Anderson, known for his versatile acting chops from previous theater roles, is poised to make Foster a memorable addition, blending humor and depth in ways that resonate with the show's legacy of complex personalities. Adding to the roster of returns is Stacey Hayduke, who steps back into her captivating dual role as the quirky Susan Banks, a character whose unpredictable antics have long been a fan favorite. Susan's reappearance is timed perfectly for Wednesday, July 30th and Thursday, July 31st, where she'll cross paths with Billy Flynn's Chad DiMera and Dan Feuerriegel's E.J. DiMera in what promises to be tension-filled encounters. Imagine Susan's over-the-top personality clashing with the DiMera brothers' scheming ways, perhaps involving a mix-up over family heirlooms or a hilarious disguise gone wrong. Of course, Hayduke's talent shines through as she also embodies the fierce Kristen DiMera, showcasing her range in portraying contrasting siblings. This comeback could tie into larger arcs, like unresolved rivalries or surprising alliances, keeping the audience guessing about Susan's true motives in Salem's web of intrigue. Not to be outdone, Tao Penglis makes a triumphant return as the sophisticated Tony DiMera, whose elegant demeanor and sharp would have defined many of the show's most elegant plotlines. Tony's episodes begin on Monday, July 28th, reintroducing his poised presence to the DiMera family dynamics. Picture him gliding back into the mansion with tales from his travels, perhaps carrying secrets from exotic locales that could influence ongoing power struggles. Penglis, with his commanding screen presence, infuses Tony with a blend of charm and cunning, making every scene a masterclass in dramatic tension. This return might explore Tony's relationships more deeply, from brotherly bonds to romantic entanglements, adding richer layers to the family's storied history and setting the stage for future conflicts. Shifting gears to the supporting cast, Maggie Carney reprises her role as Rita, the loyal and efficient assistant to the DiMera empire, whose behind-the-scenes insights often prove invaluable. Rita will appear alongside Dan Feuerriegel's E.J. on Friday, August 1st, in moments that could reveal crucial business maneuvers or personal dilemmas. Carney's portrayal brings a grounded reliability to Rita, perhaps expanding her backstory this time with hints of her own ambitions or hidden loyalties that challenge the status quo. These scenes might delve into the day-to-day operations of the DiMera enterprises, showing Rita as more than just an aide, maybe a confidant with her own agenda, weaving in elements of corporate espionage or heartfelt advice that humanizes the often cutthroat world of Salem's elite. Young talent also shines bright with Alice Halsey taking on the role of a youthful Rachel Black, injecting fresh innocence into the narrative. On Friday, August 1st, Rachel will interact with Deidre Hall's iconic Marlena Evans, her aunt, in touching family moments that highlight generational bonds. Halsey's performance could portray Rachel as a curious child navigating Salem's complexities, perhaps discovering old family photos or asking probing questions that unearth buried truths. This appearance adds a layer of warmth to the show, contrasting the adult dramas with the purity of childhood perspectives, and it might foreshadow Rachel's growth into a more central figure in future storylines. Finally, Carol Foreman gains expanded screen time as the no-nonsense Judge Dabney, who oversees the high-stakes trial of Carson Boatman's Johnny DiMera. Returning on Tuesday, July 29th, Judge Dabney's stern rulings and impartial gaze will command the courtroom, potentially deciding fates that ripple through multiple characters' lives. Foreman's commanding presence elevates these scenes, perhaps incorporating new details like her backstory as a former Salem resident with ties to old feuds, making her judgments feel personal yet fair. This trial arc could explore themes of justice and redemption, with Dabney's role serving as a pivotal force in resolving or escalating the drama. As Days of Our Lives continues to evolve on Peacock, these cast updates remind us why the show has captivated audiences for decades, through its perfect mix of returning stars who feel like family and new arrivals who keep things unpredictable. Stay tuned for more surprises in Salem, where every comeback and debut promises to rewrite the rules of love, betrayal, and everything in between. Next, we will learn about the issue that's stirring deep concern: Susan's powerful intuition and her unexpected confrontation with Marlena, which just might unravel a terrifying truth lurking beneath the surface. What began as an innocent check-in has now become a chilling turning point that no one in Salem saw coming. Belle's growing worry over Marlena's grief at their cozy home in Salem. Belle sat beside her mother Marlena, the warmth of afternoon light streaming through the curtains, unable to shake off a heavy feeling. She gently asked Marlena for her professional opinion on EJ's struggle with memory loss. Was it trauma-induced amnesia or something more rooted in identity? Marlena paused, visibly uncomfortable, her gaze drifting away. "Honestly, I can't say for sure," she murmured, her voice faint and strangely distant. This wasn't the usual Marlena. Normally, her confidence as a psychiatrist shone through every word, but today she seemed clouded. Belle noticed it immediately. Her mother wasn't just reluctant to discuss EJ's condition. She appeared almost detached from it. Belle didn't press further, sensing a quiet pain lingering in the air. Instead, she pivoted to what they'd both been avoiding: John. Belle, her voice barely above a whisper, asked, "Have we even begun to talk about what it really means that we lost Dad?" Marlena's expression didn't change. She simply responded, "It's a big loss for you." The words struck Belle like a slap. "Mom, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about you." There was a silence between them, dense and aching. Belle was determined not to let her mother carry the burden alone. "I know you're strong," she said, "but you don't have to be strong all the time. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. Always." Marlena nodded, but still said nothing. A knock, then chaos. Susan enters suddenly. A knock at the door shattered the stillness. Or rather, there was barely a knock. Susan Banks practically burst into the apartment like a whirlwind. She was all wild energy, mismatched earrings, and a heart brimming with concern. "Marlena, I had to come," she announced. Belle rushed to intercept her, hands up in a polite but firm gesture. "Susan, now might not be the best time," she urged, trying to usher her back out. But Susan wasn't having it. "I felt something," Susan insisted, her southern drawl laced with alarm. "I've been feeling it all day, ever since I lit my cinnamon candle." "Something's wrong, Belle. Something is deeply wrong." Susan gently made her way past Belle, her eyes locking on Marlena, who stood statue-like in the living room. Marlena's hands were clasped tightly in front of her, head bowed, as if bracing for a storm no one else could see. Susan's psychic senses tingle. "Dr. Marlena?" Susan said quietly, moving in for a hug. "I just want you to know. John loved you with everything he had." Marlena didn't move. She didn't return the hug. She simply nodded and whispered, "Thank you." But then, something shifted. As Susan embraced Marlena, she suddenly froze, mid-hug, eyes going wide. Her body stiffened. "Oh Lord, have mercy," she gasped. "What is that?" Belle stepped forward, concerned. "What is it, Susan?" Susan backed away slowly, her eyes still fixed on Marlena with unease. I don't know how to explain it. It's like there's something crawling under your skin. Document. Not literally, but spiritually. Your soul feels dim. Marlena gave a faint smile, almost mocking. "You're being overly dramatic, Susan." But Susan didn't budge. "No, I'm not. Your mind, your body, and your spirit, they're not in harmony. I keep getting this weird feeling from you. Like you're here, but you're also not." Belle's alarm bells go off. Belle, now growing seriously concerned, stepped between them. "Okay, Susan, maybe it's time to go." "But I haven't finished," Susan began. Belle's tone turned firmer. "Now, Susan." Susan blinked, clearly unsettled but still respectful. She gave Marlena one last look. Half compassion, half suspicion. "You take care now, you hear?" she said. "And if you feel the urge to scream into a mirror at midnight, don't ignore it." Belle smiled nervously and walked her to the door, trying to laugh off Susan's bizarre warnings. But Marlena didn't laugh. She watched them leave with that same eerie calmness. "Bye, Susan," Marlena called out behind them, her voice unnaturally cheerful, like she was mimicking a human emotion rather than feeling it. Behind the eyes. Something is off. The moment the door shut, Belle turned back to her mother and saw it clearly for the first time. The emptiness in Marlena's eyes. It was subtle but real. Her mother was there, yes, but something else wasn't. Or perhaps something else was. Belle's mind raced. She remembered all the times Marlena had come under supernatural influence in the past. The demonic possessions, the manipulations, the inexplicable behaviors. Could it be happening again? And Susan, eccentric as she may be, was rarely wrong when it came to sensing spiritual disturbances. Her psychic instincts had saved lives before. What if this time, she was sensing the return of something Marlena had barely survived before? Susan's unease deepens outside. Susan stood in the hallway for several minutes, her hand pressed over her heart. She had seen something in Marlena, something she couldn't explain in words. "That ain't grief," she whispered to herself. "That's something darker. Something watching me from behind her eyes." She pulled out her phone and made a call. "It's me. I need to speak to Father Eric now. And call Celeste. Something's coming, and it's already here." A new mystery unfolds back in the apartment. Belle quietly watched Marlena retreat to her bedroom. She sat there alone in the living room, trying to shake off the chill that Susan had left behind. But she couldn't. Not this time. She knew her mother. She knew her strength, her grace, her compassion. But the woman who stood before Susan today was not the mother Belle knew. There was a fracture, a fissure so subtle it could only be seen through the eyes of someone who loved her deeply. Now, Belle had no choice but to confront the terrifying possibility that whatever had once taken hold of Marlena might be clawing its way back into her soul. Coming soon, answers or more darkness. As Salem goes about its day, unaware of the darkness that might be returning, Susan, Belle, and maybe even Marlena herself will be forced to dig deep into the past. Could the evil that once plagued their lives have found a new host? Is Marlena strong enough to fight it this time? Or has she already lost that battle? Stay tuned, because what happened today wasn't just a strange visit. It was a warning, and in Salem, warnings are rarely wrong.